Good afternoon to all of you. Public sector has been a cornerstone of India's economic development since independence, and it has played a pivotal role in nation building since then. In the early years, when private investment was largely absent into key sectors, PSUs such as Bharat Heavy Electricals, SAIL, ONGC, Indian Oil Corporation, FCI, and many others have laid the foundation for growth, providing essential goods, services, and also creating millions of jobs. Beyond economic contributions, the public sector has been a catalyst for equity and social welfare. It has bridged regional disparities by extending critical services like healthcare, education, transportation, and power to underserved areas of the country. Public sector banks and financial institutions have ensured credit access to marginalized group of the society, thus fostering a financial inclusion. Public sector units or PSUs have been instrumental in driving advancements in strategic areas and high-tech industries such as into sectors like defense, space, nuclear energy, and thus increasing India's self-reliance. So we could say the public sector has been the backbone of India's development for quite a few decades since its independence. In the last decade or more, we have witnessed a rapid transformation of industries worldwide, powered by technology, from manufacturing to service sectors, from education to healthcare. Digital innovation is at the heart of this evolution of these industries. The world is changing at a pace like never before. As we speak, data is being generated every second, processes are being automated, and new business models are emerging. Models that prioritize speed, flexibility, accessibility, and above all, innovation. To remain competitive in this evolving environment, our public sector units must embrace this shift. But the good news is not that we have to start something from the scratch. We already have some public sector units within the last 5 to 6 years, maybe more, have really demonstrated that how by embracing state-of-art technologies, they have been able to transform their services or transform their business models, and some of them are influencing our day-to-day in our day-to-day lives, whether it is Indian Railways or whether it is Bharat Electronics Limited or whether it is NTPC. There will be more. Please pardon me if I am not aware of any of you sitting in this room, but what I am saying is there are definitely some. But when we are talking of nation building or nation growth as a whole, this effort has to be far more inclusive. We need to carry all our PSUs together towards this path of transformation. And these PSUs also by and large, as I know, have already gone through their first wave or first phase of digitization. Many of them have also gone through digitalization, where they have not only digitized their data, they have also digitized their services and processes for that matter. But by and large, these efforts, if you look at it, are more towards increasing their productivity, increasing their efficiency, or maybe improving their supply chains, interaction or collaboration with their stakeholders, and so on and so forth. But the digital transformation with the new generation of technologies, what we are talking about is far more than this wave of digitization and digitalization. It is something, how do you really, because see what is the challenge in front of you? Challenge is now we are coming up with this digital native organizations, digital native services, and they have and we've already seen worldwide how they have caused disruption into age-old established business models into it. So since these things are coming, and so therefore readiness of the corporates and organization to really be able to transform themselves to to transform their services is something very much necessary. So when we talk of digital transformation, we are talking about how using technology you can change your business model, you can change your services, or you could come up with an altogether new stream of services, new stream of business for that matter. So this is all about how can you engage or make your customers, give them much more pleasant experience, or how can you really innovatively engage with customers whom you've been always aspiring to connect to them with one by one, but you are one-on-one, but not able to do because of the constraints. Many of the upcoming technologies really provide you that kind of a potential or that kind of a power for you to transform in those directions. Having spent my 3.5 decades of career in public sector, I also understand that making these kind of changes into these large corporates will be fraught by quite a few challenges. Some of the key challenges as I look at it, first is that you will have, because you are an old established setup, you have people who have been there working with you for years, they have been working into certain banners. So suddenly if you try and transform, there will be a lot of resistance coming from within the organization. Many of you must have spoken today also, otherwise also, some of our processes, some of our protocols or frameworks in which we do procurement, or in which we do talent acquisition, or in which the way we partner with our organizations, all that also has not really transformed to a level where these things are convenient as it has been for the private sector. So a lot of work has to be done in that direction. That is a challenge you will face. If you want to, let's say, hire even a simple cloud service, it is not that simple. You have to go through the whole process, sometimes RFPs and so on and so forth. Having shifted your service to a cloud, now on the other side, technology is also not that agnostic. If you want to really be there beyond your prescribed time of RFP, 3 years, 5 years, how will you really get into it? These are challenges we kind of come across when we talk of this large scale transformation. These new technologies which have really evolved, data analytics, AI, blockchain, which have come in the last 5 years, I mean, because most of the corporates also have internal IT teams. Now sometimes these IT teams may not be able to keep themselves up to date with these new technologies. So that fear or that unknown, the fear of unknown, also sometimes brings a challenge in terms of adopting. Because when you're talking of a large scale transformation, it cannot happen by just one or two people. It has to happen with the cooperation or collaboration with everybody from top to bottom. And sometimes you may also feel financial challenges to be able to transform new things. So all I'm trying to say that when we are talking of a transformation, especially into big corporates, before you latch on to this transformation journey, there has to be a thoughtful planning, there has to be a strategy before you execute it to ensure that this whole initiative becomes a successful and a kind of a case study to be talked about. So a very well defined strategy for change is very essential to ensure these entities can not only be successful, but they can drive growth, because after all you are changing for a growth of your organization. So at the end they should result into growth, they should deliver value to your stakeholders, and they should meet the aspirations of this modern India. So if you talk of strategy, there are 3-4 pronged strategy you need to take. As I said, most of these transformation, the technology is going to play an important role. The first step is that your strategy is towards modernizing through digital transformation. So the technologies like data analytics, data engineering, generative AI, this 𝗧𝗿𝗃𝗃 and all those things, machine learning, deep learning, and now latest thing is AI agents and robots for those manufacturing industries are going to be the key technologies around which you have to really understand how these technologies work. And the story of transformation will not be a common written, it will be different from one organization to other organization, depending on what is your objective of this transformation, in which direction you want to grow, what is your context, whether you want to get into your manufacturing and make it and increase efficiency and increase monitoring, or maybe other aspects you need to improve, or you need to improve your customer interface part of it, or you want to improve your sellability or connect with your customers, or your after sales maintenance, whichever. So, whatever is your key objective, accordingly your strategy, accordingly your selection of tools will go. Another important area is, since you have started your digitization or digitalization, a huge amount of data is being generated from your SAP systems and all other customer interaction systems, but most of us are not able to leverage that data. There have been reasons for this, but I am not getting into reasons, but today leveraging this data has become far more simpler. First, because you now have these data models ready, packed into data analytics or business analytics, custom to certain industry, which you can take and apply to your data this thing, and build your organization into something called data driven entity, where you get in a real time or close to your real time through data what is happening in your organizations. And if that's mapped on model, you will get to know that where are the areas for scope of improvement, or maybe where is that you need to, not only you need to restructure, sometimes it may lead to restructuring your organization. Because when you will apply all this technology, you will find there are some jobs which were traditionally important jobs are perhaps not needed now, because technology can do that far better, far efficiently. So, I think that is where you need to do a transformation, you need to do a restructuring or skilling and reskill, which is skilling and reskilling is the key pace to this transformation journey. Because when you will start something new, you will need new set of people, new set of roles. So, if you could reskill your existing personnel from the roles which are no more needed, the roles where which is needed, and believe me, so then without really causing any kind of layoffs, any kind of disruptions, you will be very in a very successful manner, or in a very pleasant manner, you will be able to navigate through your transformation journey. And it is an established fact that if in an organization for any good transformation, if 5 roles are going to be irrelevant, there will be at least 15 to 20 new roles which will be needed. I mean, there are statistics done by these consulting organizations, but it will vary from one industry to other industry, but that is how it is going to be. So, one need to really understand these technologies and get into these things. And when you are doing, so another thing is these are new initiatives and new emerging technologies which have developed to a great extent but continue to develop. So, therefore, in these things which is always suggested is always start small, because it is unknown to you also when you are beginning with the emerging technologies. Experiment it, succeed with it, understand the challenges, then scale it big. So, for that what do you need? You can start maybe beginning 5 parallel pilots on 5 different areas. Run it for some time. After 6 months you evaluate. Maybe 2 you may junk it because it's not working well. Other 3 you may like to scale it to, let's say, across whole of your offices. Now, if this kind of a thing is needed, you need agility. You need agility in your procurement, but most importantly, you need agility in infrastructure. And cloud plays a very important role. Therefore, cloud has to be an important component of digital transformation journey, because it gives you this ability of pay as use, it gives you ability to ask infrastructure on demand and scale as you wish to. And above all, I mean, this is something all of us know, but something which I really admire about this is that most of these public cloud service providers have started offering this AI analytics as a stack. You do not today, if supposing you want to do, let's say you want to open up a ChatGPT customized customer service, you don't have to understand from where do I get this ChatGPT engine, how do I install it, how do I train it. You have to basically connect with ChatGPT open system, connect to its API, and just write your domain flow, and you will see within a span of a month your ChatGPT enabled conversational AI model to engage your customers will be ready. So, that back-end infrastructure will also be available to you, as this thing. And maybe initially you open for X number of customers, but as you see more customers engaged, cloud gives you the ability to scale. Ability to scale and also ability to use high-end technologies in easy to use manner. You have lot of business intelligence stacks also available, which you can just use those platforms and connect with your data lake or database, whatever you have, or data warehouse, whatever you have. You can just connect and start doing your, exploring your intelligence, and then you build. But please understand, another thing you need to understand, that technology alone will not take you. So you don't give it to your IT team to run this digital transformation business. Technology is just one piece of the whole thing. Technology will enable. Technology at the end is still a tool. It can empower you, it can enable you. At the end, you have to drive it. You have to understand and you have to specify that how do I want to use this technology. Therefore, I am saying advanced planning, advanced vision is there. And therefore, and since these kind of transformation where you are actually now, transforming the organization, you are having a new vision. It is something in a family, if you are trying to do something, if you are buying a new house or you are buying some big car, you always consult everybody and take everybody input and then you take. So if it's a big organization, if it's an organization you are taking a transformational role, it is important that it is led from the top. Therefore, the people in this hall who are heading these PSUs have a very important role to play. You have to really champion this transformation cause. You have to, and this is not like, and you have to, you have to put your vision into a form which others could understand. And it is not as simple as your Q1, Q2, Q3 targets. This is something which really you have to engage with people and make them understand. Therefore, communication plays a very, very critical role if you want everybody in organization to be working with you and pushing your vision of transforming this organization. Therefore, I feel senior people heading those organizations have a very, very important role to are the critical factors for the success of this transformation journey. And it is not only that you have to communicate this vision within, you have to also communicate with your business partners, with your customers, with your supply chain vendors. Everybody has to be bring on board, and this vision has to be told so that they all can align and understand when you are asking for something new or you are asking the same thing in a different way. So essentially, if I say basically with successful change strategy combined with visionary leadership, stakeholder collaboration and a structured yet flexible and agile approach, with this PSUs can transform into agile, competitive and future ready organizations while fulfilling their basic role of public service. To conclude, the transformation of India's public sector is not just about modernizing systems or updating policies. It is about reimagining how these organizations can better serve the people and drive national growth. It is about a new mindset that views change as an opportunity, not a threat. As leaders, you must champion this shift. In India's greatest advantage lies in its ability to innovate at scale. Together, the public sector can transform not just systems, but lives. As I initially said, it also plays a very big role in social development of the country. Therefore, we all must embrace change and drive India's growth story forward. Thank you.